So right now you have a draft of the survey you want to send out to your users, and you know what questions you are going to ask your users and what your survey is going to look like. Now, as a next step, as a logical next step, you are going to make use of a service. So some popular services that I have seen to send out surveys to users are like Google Forms. People use TypeForms, and also different companies have different preferences. Okay, so what generally happens is you have a survey structure ready, and this service structure might be for user research, and you are going to manually copy paste everything and set up the entire form, right? And you are going to send it to the users. Now in AI world, this is no longer a requirement. What you can do is, if you have a draft, you can tell AI to create the form for you. Okay, so I'm going to show you this first. Let's take a look at Google Forms and how you can set up the entire draft using Google Forms. So first of all, I'm going to copy this entire thing, like the entire survey questions that I have, the entire survey draft. I'm going to copy and I'm going to head over to forms.google.com. So here I'm on forms.google.com, and you can search for Google Forms and land on this page. And here you will see this big button, which is start a new form. So I'll just say start a new form over here. And when you start a new form, so you should see this kind of pop-up. Okay, now one sort of disclaimer I want to add over here. Okay, for this pop-up to appear, like create a form using AI. So this is a pop-up from Gemini. What is Gemini? Gemini is AI model of Google, AI model by Google, right? And they have integrated this Gemini into their Google products like Google Docs, Gmail, and you would also see this in Google Form, presentations, everywhere, all the Google products. Okay. Now you might see this if you have a Google Workspace account, or if you have a paid account of Google One. That is when you see this, you need to enable this. Okay, you might not see it. If you're not seeing this, then it's not enabled for your account, but this needs to be enabled in your Google Workspace. Okay, that is when you see this. And here, if you come, you're going to see hello Faisal, let's start creating. It's telling me, so it is giving me some suggestions over here. Okay, I can randomize and I can shuffle the suggestion over here. Or if you have some ideas on what sort of form you wish to create, what you can do is you can like add your description over here, and you can even make use of @ to include content from your files. So let's say if you have the survey draft saved in a Google Doc, you can refer that file from here. That is something you can do. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell this over here, create a survey for me with below. Okay, and I'm going to paste the entire survey that I had copied over here. So it got pasted over here, and you can see this thing got pasted, and here you can see this is Gemini for Workspace. Okay, so that is what is in action. I'll just say create over here. So what it's going to do is it is going to optimize, it is going to do some bit of processing, and you can see over here it has created the form for me. So you can see without me typing in things over here, you can see it has offered this, or it has created this entire form by itself. You can see everything. Now one thing is it has not marked the questions as mandatory. Okay, so I can ask it to do so. So I can add iteration over here. So you can see this editor at the top. Okay, all questions are mandatory. Also, you need to add sections. Also, you need to add sections as directed. Okay, so this is something I've added, and I'll say try again. Okay, so there will be a little bit of iterations that you will have to do, 1 or 2 iterations. Okay, so I don't see sections being added over here yet, and neither it has marked all the questions as mandatory. Okay, that's fine. So you can provide a rating, okay, based on your experience, but I'm just going to say create a form because it has saved a lot of effort for us anyways. It has just set up the entire field. Otherwise you will have to like create all the forms, all the fields manually. Okay, you will also have to make sure like you copy paste everything. Okay, but since it has just not done this, we have to just set this to required. Okay, so all of these small settings we can do. Okay, and we have the survey ready for us. Now, how much of effort did we do over here? We did not do a lot of effort. We had a draft ready, which we imported all into Google Forms, and we are making use of Gemini over here to generate the form. Okay, now here it is again telling you help me create a form. So you can again go over here and you can create a form, and here at the bottom, if you scroll down, you will have suggest questions. So if you click on this, it is going to suggest you more questions based on the form. So it understands the context now. right? And you can see over here, more questions have been suggested, right? Over here. So you can edit, or you can like play around, you can get these questions inserted, or you can say retry. So it will just refresh this suggested things and you will see it being regenerated now. Okay, you have an option to select which one you want to add and which one you don't want to. So you can expand more with the help of Google Forms. I'll get this discarded. I don't want to add this. You can expand on your survey that you have already created over here with the help of Google Forms. Okay. Now understand, not all users might see this Gemini button over here, AI driven button. Okay, because it might not be enabled in their Google account. So what I did is I searched over here, enable Gemini in Google Forms. And you can see over here this first link for the support from the support article. And you can see this is, so here it has given some instructions. Okay, and it is telling you over here that this workspace program might not be available in your country. Okay, so you have to check whether it's available in your country. And also you should check if you have access to Workspace Labs features to open a form in Google Forms and help me create forms. So you can make use of this button over here, which I'm seeing over here. Right, so this button is for helping me create a form using Gemini. Okay, and there is some instruction as to how you can make use of it. So this needs to be enabled. If it's enabled in your Google Workspace plan, then you should most likely see it. Now let's start talking about another popular service, which is TypeForm. So TypeForm is also widely used for creating surveys and doing some research. So here on TypeForm, if you're watching this, I'm assuming that you are already signed up and you use TypeForm. But if you are not, then you click on sign up. You'll be greeted with some onboarding questionnaire. Just complete that and then you'll land on the workspace. Now you have all your survey, like the entire survey draft ready over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here in TypeForm. I'm going to say create a new form. The moment you say create a new form, you're greeted with this options wherein you say start from scratch. You can import questions or you can create with AI. Now the thing over here is TypeForm's AI over here does not allow us to import all the questions and generate a form out of this. Okay, so for example, if you come over here for all forms, use AI to create questions for any form. So I'll choose this option because that's most relevant. So here you have to describe the form and add important topics. For example, I can describe the form this way. And I can add important topics that are optional over here. Okay, and it will create a form for me, but it is not allowing me to enter these fields. So if I have to create form from those fields only, so what I can do is I can come over here and there is another option if you go back, which is import questions. Okay, so when you said create a new form, let me do that again. Create a new form. So you saw another option, which was import questions. So you can copy paste all the questions over here and you can just say import questions and it is going to create a form in seconds for you, right? And you will have your form which was generated as a draft with the help of AI and now you have it ready in TypeForm. So you can see the entire form come up over here. Okay, so TypeForm understood what you need and it has basically given you a form and you can share it and publish it and you can send it to your users. Okay, so yeah, this is how you can get TypeForm to get your survey setups done. I hope this has been useful.